I don't know. I hate these fucking bugs.
What do you think it was?
The wassail bugs.
What kind of
wassail
they're not
bugs.
mosquitoes. There's something that lives in the sand, right? Because that's how.
Yeah, chiggers
Little-
or
They're like
Sand
chiggers.
beetles.
yeah, chiggers
you
or
could see 'em.
no-see-ums.
I could see them.
Well, you could see beetles, but those don't bite. Those are
How do
just
you
annoying.
know? How do you know they
how do you
don't?
know they don't bite?
Because they
Because I see
never
them the
bite.
most.
You see those beetles crawling into your underwear?
They're-
Oh,
they're-
there you go.
yeah, I mean they're beetles, man. I mean,
I don't know. I didn't get
The
bit.
beetles.
beetles,
It's a
they're,
weird
they're
place.
innocent until proven biters.
Well, something's biting me. I'm gonna. Man, I don't want to sacrifice myself like this, but I kind of want to just like sit in the sand forever at night and just record and see what it is. But I don't want to. I don't want to be
What?
miserable anymore.
Do it for science.
For
I'm sure
science.
nobody has figured this out. You could be the one.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
absolutely right.
Whew. I need some energy. I need some energy, people.
What you drinking on today? Ichiban?
I got the current Ichiban because I'm eating ramen later. That's why.
Seems appropriate.
Planning ahead.
I theme my drinks and my foods. Patrick, how's it going?
Good. Going good. Going good. Yesterday I had a lady who kept saying she was going to kill herself because she couldn't pay her bill. That was interesting.
Is that just her trying to get you or somebody else to pay the bill?
Well, her husband just died, so
Oh.
she was in a depressive state. I'm like, oh,
That's
Okay.
terrible.
don't need to
Come
go
back
do
in
that.
5 days.
What do you do?
Okay.
Is there a handbook for that?
For dealing with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
a handbook. Yeah.
I acknowledged it and said, I'm sorry. You don't need to go kill yourself over a few $100.
But if you
Right.
want to talk on the phone, you do need to pay this bill.
Because I'm
Suicide
I will
hotline
shut
needs
this-
cell phones.
If you want to call the suicide hotline, you better pay your bill.
I'll give you a hammer and some nails. You can build a bridge and get over it.
This is an investment in you right now.
Your future.
All you gotta do is put her on suicide watch. She'll be safe.
Eh,
You
It
know,
should be all right.
I don't know where
nothing
that
happens when you're in prison on suicide watch.
They'll feed you in there.
Anything can happen.
And you don't need a cell phone in there because you can't use it.
Nope.
Yeah. Dave,
Yeah.
how's it going, Dave?
Verbal
all
assault,
right.
offering hope.
Dave, you look like you have a mushroom on your head.
It's not a mushroom.
Trying to be
Is that a
old
mushroom?
toad.
It's just a hat.
It's called a
traditional
truffle.
hat I'm known for.
But look at it. I mean, just if you look at it from, yeah.
Oh,
Now
it
you get
looks-
closer,
it
kind of
looks
loses.
like- what
it.
was that? What was that bear that you from the '80s? It was like a big stuffed bear. It was Patterson Bear.
Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear.
Oh
One with
man,
the slicker in the hat.
we're googling
Yeah, it's Paddington Bear.
100%.
Paddington.
Oh, he's
Bear.
a sweetie. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like
he's
the
got his
that
little
British
rainbow.
bear.
Give me some
right?
images.
The British.
Okay, well maybe it's not Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear hats.
I mean, there
Little
that
booties.
kind of looks like the hat, except that it's not red. I'll show you guys.
Yeah, we'd like to see it.
It's this one up here.
Yeah, that's Paddington.
Yeah, that's Paddington.
That's Paddington.
What bear are you talking about?
It's the right bear. It's just I was picturing
It's
the
not
hat
what he was-
being a little more raggedy.
He was holding the wrong flag.
Yeah.
What's that about?
What flag is he holding?
What flag?
It was the British flag.
Oh, right here. Well,
Yeah.
Paddington. I mean, that
I know-
sounds
I
very
know.
British. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very British.
Very British.
He's a
Paddington
very
Dave.
British bear.
I
Having
prefer
the
my-
Union Jack is considered racist in Britain now, so
Ooh,
yeah,
well,
you can't have that.
Paddington's a national treasure. He's exempt.
Yeah.
He's like Benny Hill and
Nicolas Cage.
sexism.
Benny Hill and Nicolas Cage.
Speaking of national treasures, Brad,
Yo.
The national treasure.
what's going on, Brad?
I haven't really done a whole lot. I've been sequestering myself to my room and just modding Skyrim. I figured out what I like about it because there's not very many good games on VR, and Skyrim was a good game, so I'm just going to try to modify the fuck out of it So I've got the best VR game ever made. If you like running around and killing dragons and using voice commands and everything looking like it's a current gen video game. That's what I've been doing, building a video game.
So are you looking for that the kind of Ready Player One VR feature where you just put yourself into a suit, suspend yourself, and then just that's where you live?
He's chasing the dragon in several different ways.
That's what you're looking for, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I never saw that movie. I heard it was okay, and
Well, I'd go
somebody
with the
else
book.
told
Go
me
with
it
the
was
book.
just
Yeah.
VR chat. Oh,
Just go with the book.
go with the book. All right.
Or you can go back to the original and read Snow Crash if you want to be really cool. You can be one of the real cool kids.
Real cool kids reading
Yeah.
Snow Crash.
Yeah.
Sounds like the name of a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snow Crash.
Snow Crash.
007. Snow
Coming
Crash.
this
It
fall.
could be. There's like 100 of them.
I can already hear Adele singing Snow Crash.
It's about cocaine.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that's. It
Yeah,
sounds like fun.
the main villain like is fueled by cocaine, and he has like crazy powers when he's on cocaine. But then if you can somehow figure out how to deprive him of the cocaine, then you might be able to defeat him.
Yeah, he lives in a blimp.
It'll
I
be
mean,
like
you're
a
selling it to me right
Yeah.
now.
it'll be
It
like
sounds
a
pretty cool.
cartoon version of El Chapo.
Yeah.
Yeah, El Chapo.
Like
Just a
that.
cocaine-powered superhero whose secret base is in a blimp. I mean,
I mean,
I can relate to that.
Who can?
Underdog got his
Yeah.
powers from cocaine.
Is that a fact?
Yes, he had a ring.
Well, it was a raw. It would have been
Yeah.
crack. Crack
Yeah.
cocaine.
Yeah, crack cocaine.
Didn't
He
Underdog
had
come
it
out
in a
before the
ring.
crack epidemic?
Yeah, just look up uncensored Underdog and you'll see it. And that's how he got his powers every time. He would take that.
Was
Well,
it
I
like
knew
a
he would
It
take it,
almost
but he would
sounds
eat it,
real.
right? He
Yeah.
didn't snort it.
Yeah, he would eat it.
Okay.
It's like a
So-
documentary you can watch about
Any-
Underdog.
I mean, I don't know if it's a documentary, but it's all over YouTube. You can
Underdog
see it.
documentary.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah,
Becca.
I've been doing that.
Hello.
You've been doing that. Okay, Becca. Sorry.
Hello.
Seems well, time to go.
Doing that cocaine.
Yeah.
I get a pause. I take it.
Fair enough.
Wait, I'm sorry. What are you accusing me of?
I was talking
Becca,
to Brad
go.
again.
Go where? I'm
Sit
doing.
down,
I'm doing
baby.
great, guys. I'm having a great time, as usual.
She found a new hairstylist today.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, I did. I absolutely did. It's really hard for me to trust people with my hair because one mistake, but I have to live with it. And I was given a name, and I looked at some pictures on Facebook. And pictures don't really, do it justice. But I saw her work in person today, and man, oh man, I'm ready to pay her to touch my hair.
Is her name Karen by chance?
I don't know.
All right. Sounds like you got it all figured out.
I don't know much about
Love
her.
her so much.
I don't know
She
anything
did
about
the
her.
hair
I
of
don't
one
even know
person
her
you
name.
know.
That's all it takes.
The person had a glow around their head. and
Yeah,
she just knew that
basically.
was the answer.
Basically.
She heard angels singing, harps playing.
I heard Sarah McLachlan singing Angel.
Scissors swishing. Is that what scissors do? They swish. They sound.
That's
What?
yeah.
Tell us. What is the sound that scissors make when you cut?
Shing. Shing.
Shing's
Shing.
good.
I need to know for the
Nice
name
metal
of my
one.
new ASMR channel.
What's
Scissors be
ASMR?
snipping.
I knew
Yeah,
somebody
what's
was gonna-
ASMR?
I knew somebody was going to say that. I figured Steve-O would go for like the 10th time.
I missed
the 10th
my
try on
cue.
that
Oh, I thought he was just holding back.
joke.
Just gonna say hey later. Hey, what's
Actually, I have a new one that I guess I might as well bring up on the show, make myself look really stupid. Is you guys were talking about Bollywood earlier, and I don't
Yep.
know what Bollywood really refers to.
Oh, it's like
It's just
Indian
movies,
Hollywood.
film.
Indian movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Indian Hollywood.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're
And they all
There's
got
some
they all
gems.
sing and dance. you know?
yeah. Or there's crazy like car chases, or somebody. There's one where a door closes and a guy comes through it, and it's just like the outline, like a cartoon character busts through a wall, and it's it's the same kind of outline, but it's like a real guy.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be an Indian action movie.
All right.
It's
Or-
some
or
crazy
they're, like,
dancing.
deflecting
Yeah.
bullets with like everyday items or something. It's fantastic.
I've only seen clips. I've never watched the whole movie. The main thing I've seen is just somebody did that meme of President Trump where they took his face and put it on the clip from that movie where the guy's like going through the crowd and he has like a sword
Oh yeah,
and it's got Trump's smiling face and he's doing all this shit. That's pretty funny, but
yeah.
that's
I wonder if I
probably
can
the
find
whole
that. What is
industry
that? What
of
would I
that.
look for? Trump Bollywood.
yeah, Trump
that's
Bollywood
pretty
meme.
perfect. Sums it up.
Probably. Yeah, you
Really.
probably find that.
Trump dancing to a Bollywood hit song is the best thing you'll ever see.
Nice.
Here it is.
Real confident.
Yeah, share that so we can all see it.
There it is. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to have volume. I don't see volume control before hitting the button, so look out.
We want the volume on this one.
Video unavailable.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Oh, here, let's
They're already
go.
censoring the
Let's go
internet.
videos. Let's go videos.
Goddamn communists!
So you already went to that one.
Oh, same one. Yep.
With fucking
Let's try this one. News 18.
the fuck is that guy? Guy Fieri's nephew on there.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, and it's just the Pirates of the Caribbean remix.
Oh my god.
More of this.
Yeah, look at that
The
dance.
kind of elation you can only experience after getting a great deal on a Honda Civic or Civic hatchback.
I like it, and he drops down and he's like slapping the ground.
Or an Accord. All come standard with
Love
the Honda
that.
Sensing
Oh.
Civic safety and driver assistive features.
Is this
Like
a Honda
it-
Civic
we get a
commercial?
Honda ad.
They could just play the commercial over the video.
I hate those shit websites like those small town ABC, NBC, like
Those mom and pop websites.
yeah, those mom and pop ones.
Awesome. Yeah,
That's why you gotta watch.
Yeah, that's just
That's where you
that's
gotta
just
watch, y'all. You
that's
gotta
just
watch.
a
Catchy.
drop in the bucket of the magic that's out there.
catchy thing. It's like you hear catchy songs. That's a catchy video. You just
Yeah,
won't see it.
that's
It's just
great.
funny.
You just want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have been. I have nothing to talk about this week because I literally have avoided Twitter completely, 100%. No Twitter, and I've only glanced at the news occasionally just to make sure that the bombs haven't started falling.
And when you say
Right.
glanced at the news, you talking like websites?
Like Drudge Report, I go to Drudge Report
Okay.
and things like that, or whatever. Some of the people I follow on YouTube just to see what they're talking about, but I mostly avoided those videos too. It's mostly everybody's talking about Epstein and all that shit. I don't know if people are reading about that, but
Oh, Epstein. Maybe that's what Gary
Jeffrey
was talking
Epstein.
about. Is he dead?
Oh,
Yeah.
he apparently
Yeah, he's-
committed suicide.
Okay. See, I don't know who it is, but this guy we were working with, or we do work with today, was talking about Weinstein being dead, and I'm like, Weinstein?
Weinstein,
Uh,
Epstein. Yeah, he probably means Epstein.
get your Jews in check, son.
I mean, it's a ridiculous story, and nobody's gonna come here for Epstein news, but
No.
it's
But they
Good
got it
thing.
anyway.
Like
that guy was
possibly Alex Jones.
that guy was fucking murdered. That guy was definitely murdered.
It's a conspiracy.
Didn't Trump retweet that conspiracy of Epstein being murdered?
I don't know. I've not been on Twitter.
That's right.
You
not
were
sure.
you paying attention?
Yeah,
I'm not
I was
sure
I
I
was
would-
listening to Bill Burr and he was talking about Trump retweeting.
It might have been the
conspiracy
Hillary
theories.
meme. Yeah, Hillary deaths.
That's my Bill Burr,
That's the one.
Nice.
which is his. Who's he impersonating when he says that? It's
Jerry.
yeah,
Stewart.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis.
Mm.
Jerry Stewart.
Jerry Stewart.
NASCAR driver Jerry Stewart.
Okay, so that's what. So the Epstein thing, because I saw some meme. It was a dude holding like a cardboard sign, and it was like I don't believe in conspiracies, but and then it was like changed to say like Epstein was murdered or something, but like that
Mhm.
shit is fucked or something. But I didn't. That's all I know. I didn't look into it too much or at all.
Wasn't he a child molester or something?
Alleged.
No, teen.
Dude.
Sex trafficking.
He was
Oh, that's still pretty bad.
he was a billionaire
Yeah.
that had his own
Had his
island.
own
He had
island,
an
yeah.
airplane that was they called the Lolita Express, and
Yeah.
he would traffic. He would like get like 13, 14, 15-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Oh, I
from all
did hear
over
about
the
this
world.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a fucking temple on his island that looks like something Aleister Crowley would have just loved. I mean,
Mhm.
it's ridiculous,
This-
but yeah.
Does it surprise
Huh.
anybody that there are still islands out there that you could just set up shop and have something like this going on for years
Well, he
and nobody
owns the
knows?
island.
He owns it.
Right.
and
He
I'm
owns
sure he
it,
paid
and he
some
has
government
billions
a
of
lot of
dollars.
money.
I mean,
Man, it's just there's
I
islands.
mean, he
out
got busted for something earlier on with an underage girl, which made him on the list for the registry. So his workaround was, I'll just go to this island that I own, and I don't have to report my whereabouts to a neighbor because it's an island that I own all of.
yep.
there. Report your whereabouts to the jellyfish.
But this guy had ties to a lot of famous, powerful people. The Bill Clinton is one that he was known to be around a lot. Alan Dershowitz is another one that I pull off the top of my head.
Wait, is this Lollygate? Is that what it was called?
Pizzagate?
Pizzagate, yeah.
No, I mean Pizzagate was his own thing, but Pizzagate was
I
about
didn't know that they
powerful,
were related.
powerful people supposedly having these underground sex rings. This guy actually did have one. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And they finally were able to nail him on some of it again and arrested him. And they released they got some of the documents from it. And let's see, he was put in this prison, and I guess he was found, like, they found him at one point, came in, and he had almost died, like he had been choked or something. They put him on suicide watch, saying he was on suicide watch. His
Mhm.
lawyer then called and got him taken off of suicide watch. And then the guy that was in the cell with him got removed. He had two guys that were watching him that were like super overworked, falsifying they were supposed to check on him periodically all through the day. Those guys apparently fell asleep, and then the cameras that were supposed to be on him all times malfunctioned.
Huh.
And then
Mhm.
they heard somebody, there's reports, unverified reports of somebody hearing screams from his thing, and then he's hanged by a bed sheet. Well, these bed sheets are made from paper, supposedly made from paper, where you can't hang yourself from him, but the story is then he was found hanged. Now, that's my brief. I haven't gone into it deep, but
Right.
Dave, I don't know if you've looked into it, but that's my understanding from what the couple videos I've watched on it. Like I say, I've been mostly ignoring everything, but
I mean, I haven't done any kind of deep delve into it. It's all on the news, so it's kind of hard not to see it if you're watching even the local news. But, it's mostly distasteful to me, and you don't know what, because they're throwing names around left and right. So, I mean, the moral of the story, he did bad things with women. I don't know if he did things with other guys with these, and they're not even women, I guess.
girls,
So-
yeah.
So I think he was also had a bunch of them shacked up down there and impregnated. I did hear that too. He was gonna.
Oh, he
create a-
wanted to. Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
had this vision where he wanted to like spread his seed all over the world. He wanted to impregnate like hundreds of women.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See that? Okay. See, up to that point, I'm thinking, okay, here's a guy. He has to know that what he's doing is not acceptable to anybody else, but he's doing it anyway. But he has this image of somehow seeding the world with his children, and then people not finding out how these kids were made.
People
Or
have
these
known about
grandkids,
this
I guess.
guy.
Or no, they'd be his
for-
kids, yeah.
People have known about this guy forever. I mean,
Right, but it's like he's
like an
he's
open
delusional. At first, I
Well,
thought
he was a rich
He had so
he's
much
just a
money.
narcissist, psychopath,
He's a rich
or whatever.
narcissist,
But
yeah.
I guess he's also delusional because there's no way, you know.
I don't know. Money can buy you a lot of influence.
yeah.
Well, not enough apparently.
I mean, you give the baby mama and the baby a house, just a house. This is to live and a stipend, and I'd like to see them on their birthday and we'll have a really big Christmas party and Easter egg hunt and, basically a cult kind of thing on down the road. He's thinking long games, what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You think this guy cares about the Easter egg hunt?
Well, if he's a narcissist,
He basically
he's
just
gonna
has
want the whole
numbers. He doesn't
thing.
remember their kids' names. He just got them numbered.
Yeah. He starts alphabetically so that maybe it's a little easier, doesn't repeat. I don't know. I don't know how many there were.
His first child is named Aardvark.
They just named him Alpha, Beta,
Whatever the
Yeah.
C
And
one
whatever
is.
else comes after that.
Yeah. I know there's. Well, no, not Delta. That's military. Well, yeah. What's
there's Delta.
There's a
not
delta.
not in
There
the
is.
alpha and beta that string, right?
There is.
There
You
is.
sure?
Yeah, there is.
Beta, Zeta,
All right, fact check.
Gamma,
All
Fact check.
Delta, Omega,
Gamma,
Beta.
Kappa.
All right.
Xenu.
Kappa.
Yeah,
Xenu.
Xenu.
It's hard to. Okay. Alpha, beta, gamma. Why does it skip from 3 to 7? Hold on.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of when military people are talking on the walkie-talkie and they're spelling something, they'll say,
Yeah, font
Well,
it.
they're not
Delta,
using.
Bravo,
Delta,
Charlie,
yeah, Bravo,
Delta.
yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
where
that's
Delta
different.
is from. It's not like Alpha, Beta, whatever the C one is, and then Delta.
No, it absolutely is that.
It is?
It
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah,
The D
okay.
is Delta?
That one is the one and the same.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't mean they
Alpha.
all are.
Right.
Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu,
Yeah.
nu,
Mm.
z. I
Lambda
don't know how to
moves.
pronounce that one. Omicron, pi,
Omicron.
rho,
Omicron Chi, bro.
tau, Omicron, epsilon, phi, chi, phi, chi, whatever, c, omega. That's
I
all
think I'll remember all of this.
you
Well,
can keep that in your brain for when you're on Jeopardy one day.
I want to talk about last week, because last week, I believe, yes, I had set my remote cameras at the launch pad, and then we did the podcast that night. You guys didn't notice, I got a new hat.
Oh yeah.
Is that V for victory?
V is for Vulcan.
Oh,
That
Oh.
is-
skateboarding company.
no, that's the new
Volcom.
that's the new rocket that the ULA company is working on that will fly in a couple years. They gave us all hats, so it's got a
Cool.
nice hat. I really like it. It's just
Yeah.
all black, and the
Very
back it's got
Very svelte.
the
Oh, it's
ULA
got the
symbol.
mesh in the back. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's got that mesh in the back.
Yeah, it's got the mesh back, so it's a little bit cooler. It allows the mosquitoes to bite you, though. I found that out.
They're like docking stations.
Yeah.
You just come in and
Yeah, so it was painful because after the show last week, I didn't really have time to go to sleep, nor could I. I mean, I guess I could have slept for maybe a couple hours, but I had to meet out there at this place at like 3:30 a.m. to go out to the press site that was. I looked it up on Google Earth. We were about 4 miles from the launch pad, which is pretty good. It was a great show. Actually, Bekah can kind of take over. Well, let me show you this, because I didn't show this. I didn't show this last week, where I took this quick little video of my cameras sitting there at the launch pad. Or did I show this on the
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah.
You did. Okay, well, I'll show it here. All right, so there's my two little cameras sitting there in their little trash bags, right next to the pad. I estimate about maybe 200 yards from the pad, something like that. And then you got all these people here. We were visited by a gator. That was kind of neat. Becca's been bitching about how she hasn't seen a gator, so I sent her a picture of a gator that came right up. All the people were freaking out because this gator was.
He said,
creeping
"Ha,
up.
I saw a gator.
Yeah.
You didn't."
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next day, actually the next day. What am I talking about? Later that morning, they took us back to the meeting spot outside of Air Force grounds, and we waited for the launch pad to be cleared, to be safed, and then once it was, they sent a bus for us and picked up all the media people and took them back out to the pad to get their cameras, and I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw. And I know you guys have already seen these pictures, but
I haven't seen anything.
oh well, look at that.
Remember, no Twitter. No Twitter.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the type of shot that I've
That's awesome,
wanted to
dude.
try to get for
Yeah.
years. Like I'd seen other photographers have shots like this. That's super underexposed, where you could see the detail in the flame.
Yeah,
But and
yeah.
then you could see the ice like falling off and stuff. This would say ULA, but the cloud of smoke came up and covered it. Some other people got that shot that still said ULA on it, but I did not. Well, so what happened was, so we got there to the pad, and some asshole shouted out, "Phase 2 lightning's back on,"
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
means that you gotta, we're about to be told to get back in the bus and we gotta go. It wasn't true. If I had known that, then I probably would have scouted out my spot a little more, because we had a good hour out there, and I may have rotated a little more around the rocket so I could see a little more of that center engine that has a different color, because it's a different type of engine. It's actually a liquid fuel engine, where these are solid rocket motors. And then also being rotated around, I might have been able to get the A on that ULA. But either way, I mean, I've got my camera settings down, and that's really the big thing. And then, and I had 2 camera sets, so here, this is my second one. It's just a wide-angle shot, which didn't turn out as good. I had to up the exposure on it, so you kind of can see a little bit of noise in there. So I'm hoping for better luck next time on that one. It's still good, but it can definitely be better. So, when you pick up your cameras and you find photos on there, that is just the best thing in the world. In fact, one of the guys, Michael Caine, is another photographer out here. Actually, he's a great photographer. He's not a rocket photographer per se. He's like an actual photographer. Like if you went to his Instagram, you see some incredible
Like he
shots.
takes pictures of titties and stuff like that.
I don't know about that.
Like a real
but,
photographer.
Yeah,
I'm just
real
saying,
photography.
I'm just saying, like, you see great shots of all sorts of things, because he's actually just
So,
a good.
so like
all-around
National
photographer.
Geographic titties.
Yeah.
Guys with bones in them,
Tasteful titties.
long necks
Tasteful
and shit.
titties.
Michael Caine, if you happen to hear this, I'm sorry, man. I can't control what they say.
Tasteful titties, man.
He's sorry. He'll love it.
Yeah.
He'll love it. You're welcome.
All right, so yeah, but so Bekah got to see a beautiful launch, and I thought maybe she might talk about it. And I actually have her picture, but I was going to let her kind of talk about what the launch looked like, and yeah. What do you got?
I'll do it. And there's buildup. Okay.
Yeah, there's
so
buildup.
I had to go down to the beach, which is so hard because I live 1 minute from it. And it was, I think, 5:45 in the morning. Is that what time it was originally?
Yeah, it was supposed to be 5:44 originally.
So I got ready and I walked down around 5 o'clock, and I got down to all the way to the water, and I looked at my phone and it was like 5:02. So I thought it was going to take a little bit longer to walk, but it didn't. And I waited around for a while, and I started checking the tweets to see what was going on, if there was anything. And then Steve-O texted me and said I should listen to the live feed of the, I guess, control. What, I don't know what that would be called.
It's just the webcast of the launch, the countdown net.
Yeah. Okay, so I started listening to that, and then more and more. It was really dark on the beach. It wasn't, the sun wasn't coming up yet. And let me tell you, I do not like being there alone when it's dark. And there was no moon or anything, so it was pitch black, and I had whiplash basically from how fast I was turning my head around to try and keep eyes everywhere, because I don't know, I was just so nervous. So it's
Wait
not.
a minute. Are you nervous about like crazy people or sea monsters?
We're stepping on a sea
yes.
turtle.
All of the above, actually, equally.
Stepping on a Portuguese man of war.
Oh yeah, I don't want that either. There's a lot of things I don't want. but I started to see a lot of flashlights, and I started to feel safer every time there was more, because I could tell people were coming down to watch the launch. And I said, if I'm surrounded by a community of people that they've got to be at least a little bit cool.
Yeah.
So I was listening to the live webcast thing, and they had pushed it back a couple of times for things that they found that were wrong and they were trying to correct. And then they went through this thing that was really cool. There was this lady that was kind of like the announcer or whatever, the narrator, and she was like, now we're going to go through the 29 managers to see what their recommendation is. And they would say like, flight room, go, wings, go, gas pump, go,
gas pump.
This is how Bekah wants pizza to be made.
Yeah.
Pepperoni,
go. Onions, go.
Green peppers,
Garlic,
go.
And one person manning each topping.
That's right.
Yeah.
True.
And then she's just in the back with monitors.
Yeah.
And a speaker.
Yeah, she doesn't touch any food at all.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigarette inside.
She's actually in the back office, but she's got one of those mobile things that's got her face on it. Kind of like a Segway. Go. I'm watching.
No, this will be the pizza place I open on Mars.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to write this down.
Work.
All right, so it was really cool to listen to that. It felt like being a part of the action, even though my thing was on like a 10-second delay. So I was behind what they were actually doing, because it was still like, I think when I saw it moving, I was on like 7 on the countdown. So I was like, shit.
Yeah.
And so then I started watching it, and I was like, man, this is really cool. And the sun was starting to come up.
Yeah,
so
we could, by the time the launch, because they pushed it back. Oh, and I thought the thing that you said was cool was like, one of them came on and says, the so-and-so director of whatever recommends to proceed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then someone else says, and so-and-so concurs. And then they chose 6:13, I think it was, as launch time. And that was pretty cool, because it was already getting to be like 6:05 or something. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right, we're going to go with 6:13 as our launch time. And then by this time you could start to see the colors of the sun that was coming up. I think sunrise was at 6:50.
Yeah. So the sky near, I don't know if this is, I guess it's near the beach, because we're closer to the horizon.
We can see the horizon, whereas some places you can't.
The sky will start to light up way before the sun actually, you can see it, So it was like a dark fucking royal blue
dark, but
sky.
yeah. Right.
Oh, it was so pretty.
And there were orange colors coming up. Yeah.
Right. And so this, it's going, and I'm watching it, and then I'm like, I'm going to take a video of this, and I'm taking the video, and then I realize this thing is doing the coolest thing I've ever seen. I need to pay attention to it. It's like so the boosters, right? Is that the thing that comes off?
Oh, yeah, there were 5 solid rocket boosters, and they jettisoned after like a minute or something.
And you can see those falling. It's just like little tiny sparkles next to it. And then I guess what Steve-O told me is what happens when it enters space, right? It looked like there was like 5 perfect sections of smoke just coming out at this. It was just so freaking beautiful. It was like a jellyfish.
I had warned.
I
warned her that like this is going to be especially beautiful because of, and I don't know if it's an official term, but I've heard a lot of people call it the twilight effect, where it's still dark on the ground for the most part, but the rocket is going to rise up into sunlight, and then the plume will be backlit by the sun.
Cool,
yeah.
So is that what happened?
Yeah. So she saw, like she knew, intellectually I told her this is going to be really neat, but she had no idea. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what he said did not prepare me for how fucking amazing that was. Like, okay, so I've seen, that was my 3rd that I saw, I believe. And the first time I was like, cool. The second time I got goosebumps. This time, like, I cried. It was so freaking pretty. It's I can't even describe it. And there's no picture that I could take on my phone, no freaking way, that would show exactly what it was that I was seeing in person, but I tried.
Is that it?
I took a couple of pictures and
That's a great picture.
I sent that to Steve-O, and he said, "Wow, that's actually a really good picture." And I was like, "What? Really? Cool." I didn't mean to. That's where I was standing, and that's what I was seeing. So I took a picture.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she's got the surf in there, and the the beautiful
Yeah.
colors of the sunrise, and then the jellyfish thing. And
Yeah,
so and
jellyfish
you can see definitively when the rocket gets up above the atmosphere, because that's when this shape starts to form, because there's no atmosphere to constrict. And what's really kind of neat to realize is that when the rocket is lifting off and that the rocket trail is coming like straight down, and it's just coming straight down. It's air pressure that's forcing that to happen. And as the rocket gets up higher, that plume expands out and expands out. And once it's free of the atmosphere, there's nothing forcing it back together, so it just expands out indefinitely. And then that is the effect that you get.
That's another proof that space exists.
Yeah, it's definitely up above the atmosphere,
Right,
if
that
nothing
flat
else.
earther.
It doesn't mean that the world is round, but
Right.
It just means there's space. We could still be flat, but there is
Yes.
space.
Well, you can.
yeah, I mean, there's science there, but it's not.
Well, you can
like
clearly see this
kayaking.
is the part where they turn the rocket upside down and aim it back at the ocean to crash into the ocean.
Yeah, I do see that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just an incredible and we don't get enough of those, I think. But then again, if you had them all the time, maybe it wouldn't be so special. But then again, that's so fucking cool to see. And when you look at a picture, and every picture I've seen doesn't do justice just how big this formation is in the sky. It makes it look like it's, like to your eyes like this. It's filling up like half the sky, it seems like. It's just huge. And then it just goes off over the horizon. And everyone's losing their minds. I don't know what it was like on the beach, but at the press site, it was just nobody could think of any words other than wow and oh my God. And everybody expected it too, I don't know if everybody did, but a lot of the photographers knew like this is, and especially when they pushed it back so that it was only going to be like 37 minutes before sunrise. Then it's like, yes, it's definitely going to happen. Because when it was originally supposed to launch at 5:44, it was like, it's a little over an hour before sunrise. We're not really sure. But then when they pushed it back, and I seriously doubt this is the case, but I think it would be really neat if ULA was just kind of like, hey, let's think of something we could, push it back about a half hour, give these guys a really good show. Because you like SpaceX gets all of the all of the fandom and all the tweets and Facebook posts and pictures and everything, and I think it's pretty cool that ULA got one where everyone was just raving about how beautiful it was.
Cool. All right, yeah.
And I want to point out that if any of y'all are interested, you'd have to. Granted, this possibly will happen before the show comes out in audio, but there is another Star Hopper Hop coming up in the next few days. They have on the 16th, 17th, and 18th, I believe, maybe the 19th too, but they have their road closures in place to go ahead and try their 200-meter hop with old Star Hopper. So they're gonna go up real high. Last time, like it didn't go up high enough really for anybody to get great footage other than SpaceX themselves with their drone footage. But this one, if they do it, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's about 2 football fields.
Yeah. So I don't know. Keep your ears to the ground on
About 2/3 of the dump truck following distance.
Right.
Right.
Oh, there's some 300 ones. I've got photos.
That would be that'd be 2/3 then.
That'd be. Hey, did we get any? Have we gotten any voicemails?
No, I checked before we started. We didn't get any. Not this week.
I thought I might get one from Jerry bitching me out about just leaving the world of leaving the culture war and just not caring about things anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, it's just. I think it's a really healthy idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good to. I mean, have your opinions and read news and stuff like that. But if you're engulfed in it, man, it just fucks with your psyche.
I mean, I feel itchy all the time, but it's getting better.
Just right here.
Yeah.
Have you vomited yet?
That's when
No,
you
I've been
know.
taking there's been a patch.
Got some
okay.
night sweats going on.
It's like an Instagram patch you put on right here,
Yeah.
and you get like low dose
Yeah.
picture, just
Nice.
meme photos.
Yeah.
I did see
That's what they
I
do.
did see one when I was trying to find. I did search for some stories. I didn't go on Twitter, but I did search for some news stories. Like I said, really didn't want to cover any of them at all, but I did notice one where a girl had implanted her like the Tesla whatever like a key, basically the chip that she could open her door
Oh yeah.
just with her wrist, like she could just wave her wrist in front of her door to open her Tesla, I
Oh,
guess.
that's cool.
I did see that.
Is it? Is it?
Is
cool?
that cool? Isn't that like?
How big is it? Is like
Wait a minute. Is
key fob?
Elon? I mean, it can't be that big.
Well, you got to think.
I'm
what's
just
the
starting to.
future
Is
gonna
Elon
be?
Musk? Is Elon Musk the beast?
I
That's
maybe.
what I'm wondering.
I don't know. He blocked a bunch of photographers on Twitter.
He blocked some of his his
Yeah.
biggest supporters on Twitter.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure the Bible says that is the first indicator.
Now if he just gets a severe mortal wound and then heals himself, we'll know for sure.
Yeah.
We'll know for sure he's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
Thanks,
wonder
yeah.
because, like, you see a little bit of his brother on, online and Twitter and stuff, and you see a little bit of his mom, and I think they're, I think if I had known about them first, I wouldn't have thought that Elon was such a normal, good-spirited guy. You know what I mean? Like they seem
crazy shit.
If anybody seems like Illuminati, it's his mom.
What does that mean? Like, does she just
Okay.
like Beyonce music videos all day? Like, what's the?
Let's see.
She only listens to Jay-Z.
His mom raps like Jay-Z.
Elon Musk's mom.
Well, Elon had to get it from somewhere, right?
Get it from his mom.
R.I.P. Harambe.
Oh, here you
You've
go.
been listening to
Here you go.
that song.
It's a good song.
Yeah, she looks crazy.
Yeah, if that ain't Illuminati,
Yeah, it looks like
but
Cruella
right
DeVille.
right here. Oh man.
Holy shit, that is Cruella DeVille.
Yeah, look at the
Yeah.
one right beside that
What-
with where
what's-
she's in black.
This one?
Even
Was she
more.
like that before Elon got all this money? I want to see some
Well, I
before.
think
We
so.
have
she's
PayPal money.
She's a renowned model, I think.
May Musk.
Yeah, I think the family wasn't broke before Elon made his fortunes.
I feel like Alex
She
Jones.
does look like the lady off of Futurama.
Yeah, I think Alex Jones would point out she is definitely one of the Illuminati that are grinding up aborted babies to apply to their skin to
Yeah.
stay healthy.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Elon, man, don't go fucking whack on us, man. We think
Yeah,
we
don't
think
do
you're
it,
actually
bro.
trying to help the world, so don't prove us wrong on that one. Please.
Yeah.
Please. You
Just
got a
keep
lot
making
of
raps
support
about
behind you.
Harambe.
And,
I mean,
and unblock John Krause and Matt Haskell and all those guys.
Everything he's doing, you could just as easily skew toward him aiming to be world dictator.
Yeah, or
Mars
a world dictator. Maybe he just wants to be the dictator of Mars. You figure
He
it'd be a
controlled
lot
space.
easier. It'd be a lot easier to just be the dictator of a new planet.
I don't know. I don't know. Would it? Would it?
Well, he doesn't have enough money to take over the world. Like he's
not-
he's
yeah.
he's
But
not.
let's say. I mean, let's. But
He
let's
might
say
be in
that
the top 100 richest,
you
but
got-
he's not in the top 20. I don't.
No,
think.
no, but if you were able to dominate space, dominate satellite, the satellite industry, you've got the world blanketed in your little, whatever that, I forget what that thing was called, that his
Starlink?
internet thing. Yeah. if you can control all of that, that's
He's
a
in
big step.
He's in for the
toward-
long game.
Yeah, that's a big step toward global domination, I think.
Yeah. I mean, his mom sent him from South Africa to Canada when he was young to, just to begin. This is going to take a long time.
And his mom looks like a lizard person.
Yes.
She really she
Yeah.
looks like a reptoid.
She's a V.
Yeah.
A V.
Yeah, V.
What's
Ever
mean?
seen that?
No.
It was from the show. When did it come out? What?
That's what
Ah.
Steve-O's hat
80s.
really means.
It came out it came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's also like that movie that had Roddy Piper in it called They Live.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Know all
It's
about
based
that.
off that. Yeah. So They Live Among Us. So V was just that. So she looks like a V.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You mean a vixen, an old,
Nah.
sexy old lady?
She looks like somebody you'd really like to see at the Clermont Lounge.
She's
Yeah.
she's a little more turkey vulture.
Oh, I've been doing some reading on the Clermont Lounge, and I was talking to Brian. We were camping. I think we're gonna have a good time out there.
Yeah, that's right. Brad was asking about it when we were at Wasslin, which we can still talk about that. And I had to make it clear what it is. It's not the kind of place you're gonna go. You're not going to, make it
lap
rain
dances.
and hopefully pick up some chick or, get lap. I mean, I'm sure you can get lap dances, but it's just not that kind of place. It's more like a dive bar with a
Right.
big horseshoe bar and the trough where the bartender walks around, and then beyond that trough there is just a maybe 8 foot by 8 foot square lifted stage. If you stood next to it, it probably comes up to your waist or so, and they can touch the ceiling. It's not like a high ceiling. I don't even think there's a pole, and they're just dancing there, and then once they're done, they'll come out and they'll mingle with the crowd and stuff, and you can talk to them, and they're really cool, and it's just a good time. Cheap drinks, cheapish. I don't remember, but I remember not being floored by the cost of a beer.
I actually read an article that pointed out that PBR is $275.
There you go.
There you go.
And they might even be the tall boys.
Yeah, maybe. I also heard Kiefer Sutherland. He likes hanging out there.
Oh,
Very well,
nice.
very well.
Might run into some.
And if you see Blondie, you gotta ask her to crush your beer can with her tits.
I read about her. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
She's still hanging out there.
Yeah, still there. I mean, as far whatever that article is, it was like 10 things you should know about Clermont Lounge before you go. It was actually pretty good. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Pretty good article.
There you go. Yeah, Brad, you should definitely look that up.
Now that I know it exists, maybe I will.
do your due diligence.
I'm telling
man.
you, yeah. Just don't. I mean, just don't go in there with a half chub expecting to get a full chub.
That's good because that's not what I want anyway.
You're right,
All right.
Yeah, that's not what I want.
Right. You want a good time.
That's
you
just
like dive
irritating.
bars.
That's just irritating. I love shitty little bars.
Yeah.
We went to a shitty little bar last week.
And
it
if I
was a great
remember right,
time.
they have the Simpsons pinball.
Yeah.
So does Beach Shack.
Oh, okay.
downtown.
Then maybe I'm getting them mixed up.
Or wait, maybe they have Family Guy. I forget now.
Yeah, but I want to say they have some kind of pinball machine back there in the back that be like, oh, look at that, and then not put any quarters in it.
Cool.
Yeah, I just want to have fun. I don't want to get it like an angry boner.
Right.
And
That you
Who wants
can't do
that?
anything with because you're going back to a hotel room.
Yeah.
with
Exactly.
Brad.
I'm going back to a hotel with Brad.
Yeah.
Nothing's being
Check your
done
boners
with this.
at the door.
Nothing's being done with this boner. We'll have to do a check before we get back. Like, you
Boner
cool?
check.
You
Are
good?
you cool?
You
Yeah, I'm
You
good.
want to
I'm
like
cool.
go to the pool or something?
Need to stop
want
by the ice machine.
You want the cold shower first?
You want to get a cold soda? Fill up this ice chest.
All right, let's hear about this Wasslin story.
I'm impressed that you're drinking your whiskey out of the bottle.
I couldn't find a glass. So
Yeah.
Whiskey in the jarro.
This is a cheaper bottle, so I don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
Well, we're wassailing as we do. Well, because the by the way, listeners, the Perseids meteor shower is going on, and while the peak was Tuesday night. No, what's today? Today's
Monday
Wednesday.
night.
Monday night. Yeah, the peak was Monday night. So we went out and I took my camera and set it up and just was shooting just over and over. Just hundreds of shots. But once the camera's set up, it's just standard Wasslin procedure. And so we're hanging out and drinking and listening to music. Which, by the way, have I already mentioned this last week? If you're in the market for for a good Bluetooth speaker, look up the Wonder Boom, because you can connect if you have two of them, you can connect them and you'll have stereo, and they're nice and loud and they sound really good. They got good bass, good they all have good treble, but it's finding a small Bluetooth that has good bass is really tough. But anyway, so we're jamming out, listening to Daft Punk probably, and this couple is like, we could see them, their silhouettes off in the distance, and then all of a sudden they're like upon us, because they're running, they're running and they're chasing each other and frolicking in the surf. They're like, I don't know, they're playing grab ass, and they're chasing each other. I don't know who's chasing who, but they're running with chasing each other.
That's actually a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. So we saw them, and they saw us, and they heard the music, and the guy said something. He's
no, that is
okay,
not.
all right, take it away.
No. They were running and doing their frolicking, chasing thing, and so I ran down to them.
No, you heard the guy say something, and he had an Australian accent, and that was what triggered you to go. No.
Nope.
Hey mate. Hey mate.
Yeah.
I'm one of you.
No, they were
one of you people.
And it just struck me, I'm running to him. So I ran down there to him, and we started shouting at each other as I was getting closer. And then I got down to there, and they started talking, and I was like, where are you from? What is that accent? And they said, Australia. And I was like, cool. And I immediately recalled that I have met people from Australia. So I was like,
do you happen to know Jim?
No, you didn't go. Do you know Katie, my friend Katie
from Australia?
Have you seen a kangaroo?
I met this girl, Katie, in Spain.
Stop
3 years ago.
Katie, I miss you. No, I didn't ask about Katie. I was thinking about like the slang terms that she taught us, and like the stuff that I learned about Australia. I was like, where are you from in Australia? And he said Melbourne, and the girl said something else. Yeah, Melbourne. And
and you said, why the fuck did you come here?
I did. I said that at least 3 times to them. I said, why are you here? And they explained it politely every time I asked. But so throughout the time, his accent.
Wait. We discovered upon meeting them, or initial contact, and hey, well, we're just hanging out. Feel free, And then the girl goes, "Can I put my top on now?"
Yeah.
She was topless. She just had her arm over her tits, and then at that moment, I'm like, Brad.
Eyes lit up.
Well, I thought about Brad sitting over there, hunched over in the sand, too drunk.
Oh, you're like, oh, Brad missed it.
Missed opportunity.
I was where I needed to be.
Yeah, he was nursing a pre-hangover. He wasn't completely gone, and I kept telling him, it was probably just a drunk thing. I had to make sure they understood. Look, this is my roommate. He's not like a meth head, or he's not like fucked up. He's he's not usually like this. He just drank a little too much. We
usually have a sign we put on him.
Don't
that
think
says not
that
a meth head.
Yeah, you probably didn't hear that, so I hope you
I didn't
appreciate
have my shirt on
I was
day.
trying to make sure they knew that that this wasn't your normal forte.
That guy's cool. He's just too drunk today.
He's just too drunk today. He's not usually like this. And then, so continue.
Okay, so we're all having a good time. She put her top on, so his accent stayed good. He was able to keep that shit. But I kept hearing her.
She kept
I always
forgetting.
think people with accents
Oh,
sound fake.
they're fucking with you.
I always
Nice.
think that people with accents sound fake. I'm always trying to listen, like I'm some kind of fucking dialect expert. I'm always trying to listen for mistakes.
Well, I
and
mean,
shit.
your accents are so good. I would think that you would notice when someone else is faking.
Yeah, thank you. That's
Sorry, Dave.
Got a little Mio nose going.
Energize your nose.
Oh yeah. Whew, my sinuses have energy.
so. Am I leaving out anything funny or important in between, like what was going on? Because I feel like there were two stages of this, and there was the first stage where everybody was Australian, and then there was the second stage where they weren't.
Well, there was the stage where you guys you and Brad fell on the ground.
There you go.
There's that
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, that's where I need.
That looks about right.
Yeah. This was
Yeah.
before we met them, I'm pretty sure.
It was, yeah.
All right.
Oh, good. I was already there.
Yeah. All you had to do was, you sat up.
I sat up and then threw up, just hunched over.
I didn't
on
even
the
know
beach,
you threw up.
watching
I
it.
thought you were doing all right. I thought, maybe you had the spins or something, but I didn't know you threw up.
I remember them coming over and like talking to me for a little bit, and I was just like answering in a way like, okay, I've acknowledged that I know you're there and I'm alive.
So stop
I'm
talking
busy.
to me.
I'm busy right now.
I'm in hell right now. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Well, they buried Brad. Did you say that?
No, I didn't, but we
Oh
can.
yeah, they started
buried
putting
you in the
sand on
sand?
me, and I didn't even fucking care. I was like, oh, it's cold. It feels good.
Yeah, he didn't care at all.
Yeah, well, he's given the thumbs up.
Wait,
He's looking at the dude.
oh, she has a
This
shirt
girl's
on.
tits are almost hanging out, and Brad's looking at him, giving him a thumbs
Well, no,
up.
he's not even looking at him. He's got his eyes closed. He's turning
Oh.
towards me, and he's
Saying,
got
"What are they doing?"
And he's just got his thumb. Well, I was taking pictures during this time, so he knew what was going on.
Look at that dude. He even looks Australian.
Yeah, he
I
did.
still
He-
have my
he
headphones
was-
on at that point. That's good.
Yeah.
I know where your headphones are. I
Oh.
saved them.
Just piecing it back together.
So at some point, you start to figure out that they're
No.
not actually
They're-
sounding
yeah.
Australian.
The turning point, the intermission, like the middle part of this whole thing was, I got it in my head that I wanted to go swimming because they had gone down and gone swimming like at one point throughout the first half of the night. And I got it in my head that I wanted to go swimming, and I said it out loud. And she said, "Well, let's go swimming." I said, "Well, I can't. I'm wearing clothes." And she said, "Take them off." And I said, "All right." So I did, and I took off running and swam in the ocean in the middle of the night, which I said I would never do.
You didn't take
because
off all your clothes,
No, I didn't take everything.
just
off,
to be
no.
clear,
So
because you never know when Andy might show up.
yeah, it's true. So we run down there, and it's just me and her, and I looked at her and I said, "The jig is up. Where are you from?"
And she's like, Melbourne, Florida.
No, she said Canada. And so at that point, her and I started to have a real conversation. Like it was almost like we were both like completely sober at that point. Everything just dropped, and we were just normal people. And we talked, and she told me about a situation that she was going through, and I gave her my best stranger advice for it. And then her dude came out looking for her, and
I couldn't stop him. Like he all of a sudden just like a switch flipped, and he's like, "Where'd they go? Where'd they go?" I said, they're out there somewhere.
They're out there lezzing out in the surf.
Like, they're out there somewhere, man. We're good. We're totally fine. Like they're fine. We're fine. And he wasn't having it. I mean, they were drunk too, obviously.
Well, surfing muff.
And he just took off and went and found him. And it's one of those things, like they could be having an in-depth discussion about something that they want to not have somebody impose on, or they could be out there making out. Who the fuck knows? Just let them be. They'll come back at some point.
Yeah.
Let them be. You don't want to know. Just let it be. But he wouldn't listen. He went out and found him.
and found us, and we were making our way back up, and she realized that she had lost some of her jewelry. It was a bracelet and some earrings, and she spent the next probably 30 minutes looking in the ocean.
Yeah, ain't no
Oh,
point from
God.
that.
Yeah,
For
good
them.
luck.
And I felt so bad because they were clearly important to her. It was like a charm bracelet that it was clearly important to her.
Maybe in the daytime, a lot of sun. Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Not at this beach, no, because
No.
the beach here is too murky. Or the
No.
water,
I
rather.
felt too bad. I helped fake look for it. Like I knew we weren't going to find it.
You're
but
just
I was,
walking around in the water, just going like,
like,
"Nope,
I
not
just
there.
don't want to. I just
Not
don't want
there."
to touch a crab or something.
no, I was kicking around in the sand too and looking with my flashlight. And I didn't find anything. But then I think that was it, right? Did I leave anything good out?
No, but I do want to show everybody the picture of the completed buried Brad.
That's a completed berries.
I'm glad I have
You're
my
like-
head like this.
Yeah,
like
it's
like
everything's
meditating,
He's
fine.
yeah.
definitely meditating there.
You're in
yeah.
a
That's
good,
right.
I thought
good
that was
place.
pretty good.
I like it. They buried you face up, so if you do vomit, you're definitely gonna die.
Yeah. Well, he
No
wasn't. He
turning
wasn't
over.
passed out.
Yeah, I wasn't passed out.
Not at that point.
I was just
No.
like, I need to not get up because I think I had fallen on the sand. I'm like, I've learned my lesson in the past about falling down.
Just stay down.
Looks like
Right
the
here.
Sandman was knocking, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was sand everywhere in my bed,
Oh,
all
man.
over the apartment. There's
Oh.
never ever been.
We
nearly
still
that
need to
much sand
vacuum
here.
the couch, but I did sweep.
Oh, I
up
already got the
floor.
couch.
Oh,
Go look at it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, go look at that shit. Why don't you walk around barefoot for a while? Tell me what you think.
Oh, really? Did you do the whole shebang?
Did everything but your room.
Yeah. Well, my room is fine.
I figured you'd handle that.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was good. And then she was real upset about losing her shit. And then, of course, then I guess he knew he probably wasn't getting any pussy that night, and they wandered off. and we're like, all right, well, this sounds like a good time. And luckily, we were able to gather up everything. I got all my camera stuff, and we just happened. Really, we weren't even looking, I don't think, but we found Brad's wireless headphones in the sand.
his
They were
battery.
just about buried too. They were just about covered in sand, and then Bekah happened to see them and pick them up.
I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Not because of the
You made it
sand,
back.
was
I
just-
mean,
yeah, I made it back. I'm told I made it back.
yeah,
I woke up in my bed. I had all my shit. I'll say that's a good night.
yeah,
True.
yeah. So there's that was probably the first real good
Yeah.
Wasslin, probably
That
the
was
best Wassel story for
pretty good.
Bekah so far.
Beach bitch Becky.
Yeah, there we go. Hey Dave, you had a story you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, it's a sad
top
day in the
topless
medical
girl on
world.
the beach.
It's a sad day.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Why so sad?
Well, all the cures are now, the FDA came out with a huge announcement. Big deal. Drinking bleach won't cure autism or cancer, FDA says.
Bullshit.
They haven't
Uh,
done enough testing. What the fuck do they know?
Or HIV and AIDS. It doesn't cure that either. So,
That's weird. We were talking about that today, weren't we? At work?
Talking about how Otoban kills HIV, and I said, well, yeah, so does bleach. Like lots of things can kill viruses, but do you want those things in your body? No.
yeah. Well, the Food and Drug Administration was dragged into the online world of medical information this week, telling consumers not to drink bleach solutions that are being marketed as cures for autism, cancer, HIV, AIDS, and other medical conditions.
Oh my god.
These are the same people. These are the same people putting popsicles in their vaginas.
They could very well be.
Kind of the same demographic.
That's rude.
Same people that are going to raid Area 51.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the latest example of how health authorities must sometimes pit science against the viral power of the internet, which regularly
This
serves.
was taking hold? Somebody,
Yeah.
enough people were believing this, they had to comment on it?
There's more than one company that's marketing some things. A lot of deaths.
I mean,
So, yeah.
they should go to prison.
Well,
Are they marketing, selling, bleach tablets or something?
well,
Okay,
they
let's
told actually.
let's hear the story.
Yeah, they actually, the FDA had told people in 2010, when this all was taking hold, that you shouldn't drink bleach. But you know how people just don't listen and sometimes know
What
better.
do you know?
What do you know, FDA?
It's my body.
It's fucking bleach. It's 99 cents a bottle.
Look,
Kills everything.
I'll just drink a little bit of it, okay?
Look what it did to my jeans.
Yeah, it's fine. They
So
look
the FDA
cool.
said ingesting these products is the same as drinking bleach, said the FDA's acting commissioner, Dr. Ned Sharpless.
Sharpless.
Unfortunate name for a.
Unfortunate name.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the reason why we now can't use bleach to cure these things, because he's just not sharp.
He's not sharp.
Yeah.
Consumers should not use these products, and parents should not give these products to their children for any reason. The FDA's statement referred to products that use the names Miracle or Master Mineral Solution, Master Mineral Supplement, and there's just more and more and more.
Water
So does this have bleach?
purification solution. Wow.
Does it have bleach mixed into it? Or it's
Yeah.
It's got to be
So-
insanely diluted, I'm sure.
Generally, they are composed of a solution of sodium chloride and distilled water, with instructions for consumers to add citric acid, which turns them into a powerful bleaching agent.
Mix it with orange juice.
That's
Yeah.
right. It makes it all better. Pulp,
Wait,
no pulp.
Wouldn't that
And then-
neutralize? Wouldn't that serve to neutralize if it was a good idea, but the acid isn't bleach a base, and then the acid would neutralize?
I don't know. Maybe they have to be mixed with snipes or something.
I'm sure
you know.
there's much more to it than just throw some orange juice in there in your bleach, and then now it's safe to drink.
Well, the distributors, who were not named in the statement, claim the results is an antimicrobial, antiviral, and antibacterial remedy for autism, cancer, HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, the flu, and other conditions, the FDA said.
Now, I have a problem with them not naming them. They should totally name these companies.
Well, they did have a list of names up before of the type of products.
And
So-
the other thing is, autism is not like a germ or virus or something in your body that can
How
be
do you know?
cured.
How do you know it's not a CIA created virus?
Yeah, anti-vaxxers will tell you. It's advice to those who are
Turning the
drinking
fox gay.
Yeah.
I thought that was a soundboard for a second.
So the FDA's advice to the people who are drinking it: stop now.
Keep it up.
Consuming the solution is comparable to drinking the active ingredients and disinfectants and can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and severe dehydration, the FDA said.
See, that's like
It gets better. So part of the reason why they haven't gotten a lot of calls is because on the packaging it says may cause severe nausea, diarrhea,
well,
vomiting.
that's what I was gonna say.
dehydration.
Like, that's what I'm gonna say. All these fucking people are all about this cleansing bullshit and like expelling toxins from the body. So they'll get some bullshit and they'll take it and they'll start throwing up and shitting all over the place and be like, "Oh, it's working.
Yeah. Oh,
It's purging my toxins."
These are my toxins leaving my body.
Listen,
Idiot.
I have a bottle of detoxifying body wash, but I didn't buy it because of that word. I bought it because it smells good.
Well, you're not
Bottle of
drinking
vodka,
it.
it'll
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
you're not
make a
drinking
conversion.
it.
How
The
do you know?
American Association of Poison Control said in its annual report that 226 cases of exposure to non-household bleach were reported to the National Poison Control Centers in 2017. The most recent year for which data was available compared with 276 in 2016. So they have also received reports of 20 people affected by exposure to MMS, which is at least 7 deaths of people who have ingested Miracle Mineral Solution. 2 in 2018, 1 in 2017, 14, 11, 13, and 2009. So, I mean, the article's pretty long. There's no sense in reading the whole thing. But it's a thing. People still think that, I mean, if that's not a snake oil, I don't know
Good
what
racket
is,
to
man.
get into, isn't it?
It's like you surround yourself with semi-intelligent people, and this stuff just takes you by surprise. Like I don't think that I even know anybody that would buy into this, but there are Lots
have been-
lots of people that do.
I have been adjacent to these kinds of people.
Really,
Yeah.
adjacent to.
Adjacent.
I have
Yeah.
walked a parallel line.
Church.
next to-
Yeah, you know, certain church people.
Yeah.
Kind of people that do like pre-birth womb regression therapy. You know, you go regress to the womb.
Yeah, I've seen those things. I mean, you know, the other side of it is really kind of sad because you can imagine somebody who has stage 4 cancer and they're just looking, you know, they're willing to try anything at this point. They
Right.
maybe they don't qualify for a drug trial or who knows what. So, you know, it really preys on the vulnerability, which is most likely going to lead to a much more miserable existence
Oh man. Yeah.
instead of just straight out hospice care.
I would
And
at least, I would at least find, some doctor, actual doctor doing experimental medicine, in Mexico or something, at least before just I'll buy some miracle water online.
And
yeah,
At least join a study, and
isn't there a thing now where I could be wrong. I want to say it was like something that Trump supported. That was like for someone that is really having a bad go of it, that they are eligible for things that typically we wouldn't try on humans, but it's far enough along that they might be willing to do it for someone that really has no other hope.
I feel like some restrictions were lifted on that.
Right.
Yeah, but that sounds right to me.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know. But it was
I mean-
something. There was something. I don't know if it was Trump,
Yeah.
but I do remember hearing about.
No, I think you're right.
Let's make it easier for people to try this experimental shit
Yeah.
when they have
Yeah, I
no
think
other
you're right.
hope. They're basically they're on their, maybe not on their deathbed, but they will be soon. And yeah.
I mean, it's sad. I would recommend steer clear of the bleach, folks. It's probably not right. If you're not feeling too good, a little nausea, you already got it, maybe from chemo or whatnot, go find Snoop Dogg's Best. Probably the best way to
Hey,
go.
you want a toxin?
Yeah,
Just
there's some
get the
toxin.
old fashioned kind. Just get you some whiskey and you're fine.
That's the
All
healthy
right.
cleanser.
Yeah. Becca,
Hello.
we got some quick game time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it's funny you should say that, quick game, because the game is called
Quick game.
Think Fast. All right. So I'm going to individually grill you guys with, I don't remember if it's 6 or 7, but like an amount of questions. Very few of them are just like statements or like command-ish kind of thing, but it's mostly questions, and you have to answer them immediately. Like you don't flounder, and it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. The very first thing that comes into your head is
This is like a psychological exam. Then this is like,
it's
you're gonna tell us if we're autistic or not.
no.
Let me get my bleach.
No, I think it could be really funny, the answers that you guys give. So do you want to do like a practice question so we can see if you can do it immediately?
it.
If you got
Just
what
do
it
it.
takes.
Just do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it live.
Okay, immediately. Your answers are immediate.
Yep. Whatever pops into your head.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay. All right, ready?
Ready.
What is the best shape?
Chicago.
What do you look for first at a buffet?
Mashed potatoes.
How are babies made?
Sex.
Who unplugged it?
You?
How long can you sleep?
Never.
Where is the king?
Over there.
Okay, that was it. Who's
right.
going next?
This sounds like
I
Becca.
guess I'll go.
This is like Becca's ultimate game.
Okay, Brad, are you ready?
I guess.
You got a feel for how this works?
I think-
Immediately answer. Okay. How many napkins do you need?
4.
What did you forget at the grocery store?
Everything.
What is the best state?
Ohio.
No, it's not.
What's in your brother's dresser drawer?
A gun.
It's probably he should have a gun.
Yeah, y'all
Why
don't
is
know
what-
who his brother is.
Yeah.
Why is the sun hot?
It's really hot. That's why it's hot.
Scientific.
That's right, man.
Come to Verbal Assault, you'll get your science.
Who's the most important member of a football team?
Coach.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
All right. Who's next?
I'm next.
Dave?
I'm
Nathan. Okay. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
How old is Dennis Rodman?
Too old.
What's what is it called when two turtles kiss?
Beak bumping.
Point.
How heavy is a duck?
It's not.
Half of 2 ducks.
How many cereals have you tried?
Only the odd numbered ones.
What is your, what is your stage name?
The great phalange.
The great finger.
Yeah.
Who carries the saxophone?
George Clinton.
George Clinton. Is that accurate?
I don't know.
Hey, Clinton.
One of them Clintons.
All
Oh
right.
no, yeah, it was Bill that played the sax, right?
Yeah.
George Clinton. It sounded like George Collins.
George Clinton made music, but Bill played the sax.
Right.
Sort of. Not very well, but
All right, Dave, are you ready?
I guess.
Okay. How tall is your cousin?
4'8".
What's the most dangerous food?
Spicy tomatoes.
What I'm talking about, I missed everything at the grocery store.
Which city are the 7 dwarfs from?
Atlanta.
they're at the Clermont Lounge.
Show title. They're at the Clermont Lounge.
How did you win the chess game?
I cheated.
What's another word for spoon?
Fork.
Yeah.
Where is Robert?
He's over there.
Okay. All right, Patrick, it's down
All
to you.
Okay.
Okay.
This is for all the points.
All the points.
All right. What's the capital of Earth?
Balthazar.
What is the name of the 7th reindeer?
Who is that? Blitzen.
It's probably
Yeah,
close.
close enough.
There you go.
Yell any first name.
Bob.
Okay.
Yell.
How long is a fisherman's minute?
2 hours.
Close
What
enough.
is the theme of the homecoming dance?
Thriller.
Say something to impress me.
I have nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, you did it.
Yay!
My ears hurt from laughing so hard. Does that happen to you
Man,
from laughing?
Yeah.
that was rough. Whew.
Well, that was my game.
That was
Good.
quick.
Yeah, I like that.
It was a quick game.
Get some more questions for next week. Or,
It's a
or
real
some
well.
other
That's gonna
week.
be, it took me 2 days. Well, I guess I have like 7.
It's like an improv comedy, like exercise
Yeah.
kind of thing. I like that. That's good.
It's a sleeper, you know. It starts off like, how's this gonna go, and then it just gets funnier and funnier. It's a sleeper game. We'll play it again.
All right, then.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm pretty sure, unless I forgot something, we've reached the end of the show.
Yeah.
So we'll pass it back to Bekah.
I'll take it.
We're gonna get dark now. We're gonna get a little bit darker.
You're right.
Some of Bekah's poetry is taking the dark turn. I mean, it's always been on the dark turn.
It's just a reflection of my
The
soul.
sunnier Becca's weather is, the darker the poetry gets.
No, it's not sunny. It's not sunny here. It's been raining like all day, every day. Right?
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, this is called Ears to the Ground. I don't believe in building a future without an investment in you. Prove me wrong. An overworked door always closes, so bust through the wall. The magic is out there. It's kind of hard not to see it if you're watching with any interest at all. So the solution is a virus. You may already be in too deep to know for sure if it's a good idea, but the only other option is vulnerability.
Is that
We didn't
is
say
that
all
about
those things.
is that a
verbatim.
story about a stalker rapist with VD?
How'd you know?
That lives on the beach and is looking for Bekah while she waits for a rocket launch.
He actually wrote it. He's right here.
Somebody help me.
No,
All right.
that's not what it was about. Well, I guess you can
Listen to it again.
That's what art's
You can
about.
interpret
You
it.
interpret it your own way.
Back it up and listen to it again. Tell me I'm wrong. Call in and tell me I'm wrong. All right. What number do they need to call? The people talk to us.
Brad?
865-316-6955. Call in or not, because you guys are definitely not calling in.
And follow us on Twitter. It's _verbal assault _. That's verbal assault surrounded by underscores. How do you support
Yes.
us, Patrick? Uh-oh. How do they show their support?
You can leave a review and subscribe to us. My feed cut off.
Yeah,
that's why
that's why I said uh-oh, because I noticed
Yeah.
you were frozen there.
Yeah. Just like and subscribe us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play,
Now Spotify.
We're now on Spotify.
now too.
Yeah.
And you can support us on Patreon as well at patreon.com/verbal assault.
That's a / for those of you
/
keeping score.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Thank you to Haywood Banks for our theme song. We're still using that song, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Damn well better be.
Good.
Right. Right.
That's the show.
Right. Deuces.